Hello, we are live on Monday night with For the Love of Details. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Hopefully, you had a great Super Bowl Sunday. It was kind of uneventful for me, but I am excited that the Seahawks won. Hopefully, you had good food and hung out with friends and family. And if you didn't watch the Super Bowl, I hope you had a good Sunday anyway. Before we get started, I just wanted to make sure you all are aware that this month, the whole month of February, the House of Rags, 20% off microfiber sale. You're going to see it ticking here across the bottom of the screen. Thor, DIY, Clean, Quiver, all of the towels, 20% off. Get yourself some for Valentine's Day. Show yourself a little bit of love. Buy your significant other a pink towel. Also, Luminous. I know everybody is super excited about Luminous, and you guys, it has landed. So stay tuned this week because Luminous is going to be coming in hot. So let's go ahead and get started with the show. I am super excited about this conversation tonight. We are going to be talking all things MTE. The show just passed. I've never been, but I'm super interested and really intrigued by it, though I don't know much about it. So I thought, who else than to talk to but Mr. Yvan Lacroix himself, who has been teaching at MTE for over 20 years. He knows all about it. So we're going to bring him in and get started with the show. So here we go. Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Yvan?
Spectacular.
That is awesome. And you are in Florida still?
Sebring, Florida. Yep, Sebring, Florida.
How far away from where is MTE exactly?
Orlando.
Orlando. Are you super far from there?
Maybe an hour and a half. A little further south.
Perfect. So glad to have you on tonight. I kind of asked you last minute, so I am super thankful that you agreed to come on and chat with me. I know nothing about MTE, Yvan, literally nothing at all, other than it is in Florida and that it's called Mobile Tech Expo. So
Right.
I just want to jump right into this conversation. Again, I'm super excited to hear about it. Let's just start talking about what exactly is MTE.
So for me, first and foremost, it's education. So the education day, they have 2 days now. They have the Wednesday, which is sort of an education 101 or for beginners, first timers to MTE.
Okay.
And then the Thursday is the big day. So 20 some rooms set up with 20 some speakers, 8 sessions per room. So about 160 sessions total.
Wow.
And you can pick, you can choose. For myself, I always record mine, put them on YouTube, where I have for the last 5 or 6 years. But for that, it's there. Every session is different. Every section has a different topic. MTE takes their call to speakers sometime in April, and so in a couple months they'll take the call to speakers for next year, and we have to present to them, this is what we're going to speak about, and they try to put it together as a oh, this is an interesting subject, this is something that's never been talked about before, or what have you, and go from there. For myself, every year it's not rinse and repeat. I send them 10 different subjects and they choose a couple. Sometimes they choose 5, sometimes they choose 1. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But this year was profitable partnerships. So basically and that one hasn't been released yet. It'll be on my YouTube channel in a couple of days.
Nice. Okay.
But it's how to navigate partnerships, not as a form of a business partner, but if you're a detailer and you want to do PPF, or you want to do tint, or you want to do truck bedliner, or what have you, and you don't have the skills, the resources, the space to do it, how do you get a partner to do that? How do you work with that partnership, etc.?
Okay. So would you call MTE a trade show?
Or definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. And it started out as 95% PDR and 5% detailing. And this year, after 25 years, the detailers finally took over. So this was the first year where there's more detailing companies and more detailing seminars and more detailers than PDR guys. Nothing wrong with the PDR guys or gals, but at the same time, it's nice to see our industry growing.
Yeah.
and taking more and more space at Mobile Tech Expo.
So, who is MTE really for? Is it for detailers? Is it for business owners, shop owners, beginners? Is there like a certain niche group of people, or are you just saying MTE is for anybody who wants to come and learn more about a trade?
For the, I'd say it's less relevant for the detailing hobbyist. Uh,
Okay.
the the Saturday, or sorry, the Friday, Saturday, the booths are open. So then you can walk around and do all of that. It used to be that education day, uh, you had a lot of skills being talked about. Now the major skill being talked about is entrepreneurship.
Mm,
I remember the first time I spoke, and this was, 20 some years ago. I was talking about how to make your detailing more efficient and how to make your detailing business more efficient. I had three people sitting in the room, and two of them just wanted a place to sit. In the room next door, there was someone talking about something like the 10 steps of jeweling paint. In other words, how to take 40 hours to polish your car when you could do it in 4. It was standing room only.
wow.
Today, those roles would be reversed. Actually, and there's no one doing the, how to be the perfect paint polisher, things like that. That's sort of gone by the wayside. The skills based seminars have less people in them. The
Mm,
business based seminars have more. So
more.
to me, MT has evolved into a detailing entrepreneurs gathering.
So, what is the difference then, would you say, between MTE and SEMA? Because, and please correct me if I'm wrong, obviously, this was my first year attending SEMA, so I'm not going to pretend to know anything about it, to be honest,
Yeah.
because, the first year is just being overwhelmed and in shock the whole time and all of that. But I didn't really notice any classes and things going on. Does SEMA have that piece of it and I missed it? Is that the difference between MTE and SEMA? Can you explain?
Yeah, SEMA does have classes going on
Oh,
throughout the whole thing.
oh, they
So
do. Okay.
upstairs above the show hall in the center hall, they have classrooms there. Some of them you have to pay for, some are free. And I've been to a few of them. They're mostly marketing sessions in reality.
Okay.
It's like, uh, I can be your business coach, or
Yeah.
this software will help you grow your business, et cetera, et cetera. At MTE, you have a number of people that are there 100% to teach. They're not there to boost their business. They're not there to try to sell you software. They're there to help you grow your business. I was speaking with Mike Phillips, and Mike Phillips is another
Oh,
veteran. And Mike actually keeps much better records than I do. So he said, he had spoken 84 times at MTE
wow.
over the 18, 20 years he's been there. For myself, it's probably been close to that. I didn't keep I don't tally it every year going, oh, this year I did 6. But anyways, uh, so Mike and I are veterans. Jason Rose is another one that's spoken there
Mm,
for many, many years. There's a number of us, and we do so out of pleasure more than anything else. It's fun because you can see the sparkle in people's eyes, and they come up after the class and they continue asking questions. And the next day, when the show floor is open, they're coming back and asking you questions like, "Oh, this sparked an idea last night or yesterday I was in your class, and I want to discuss this a little further." So it's very good. And the other thing that MTE does much, much better than SEMA
mm,
is interpersonal connections. SEMA is just a big circus. There's a lot of people there. Your eyes are continually bombarded with stuff
yeah.
and people and all sorts of things. Whereas MTE, it's a much smaller show. So the room that the House of Rags was in. So
Okay. West Hall.
the
Or
West Hall.
West Hall? Yeah.
Yeah, it's about an eighth of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
the whole show.
Yeah, the whole show. So MT does not have the big mega booths like you see at SEMA. Like
Okay.
a big booth will be 20 foot by 20 foot. Most are 10 by 10. There's some 10 by 20s, but the majority are 10 by 10 booths. Other than the PDR people, because the PDR people, they treat MT a little differently. It is their Black Friday sale. So the
Mm,
companies that make all these beautiful rods for paintless dent repair and the tools for PDR, they come there with, trucks loaded with product, and they're just hauling product in and
yeah,
out all day and selling, and they have racks. And so because PDR people, it's great to see this particular thing online, but you have to get it in your hand. You have to try it. You have to touch it. You have to see, is this as thick as I want? Is this as long as I want? Is this have the
yeah,
right bend on it? Is it like the one that I have, or what makes it different? So they take up a lot of real estate. On the detailing side, you know, even large companies only have small booths. So, which is good. It sets everyone sort of on a more level playing field, first of
yeah,
all. Secondly, it really, there's a lot more conversation and in-depth conversation happening at Mobile Tech Expo than there's at SEMA. Because at SEMA, someone comes into your booth, it's like, okay, what's new? Okay, I've got to run to the next booth.
yeah,
Whereas Mobile Tech Tech, MTE, there's in the detailing space, there might have been 50 booths maximum.
yeah.
So you got
Okay.
2 days to get through 50 booths, and there's 20 of them that have you want nothing to do with. Uh,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
another person might like them, but you don't like them. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or you already know everything about that company, so I'm not going to waste my time there. Going to get a selfie with the owner and walk away. But other than that, you know, you get a lot more interpersonal connections. You get time to speak with people. As someone that's been in a booth before and that's had a booth, this year we didn't. Next year we should. But it gives you a lot more time to connect. It gives you a lot more time to get together. Plus, there's parties in the evening, and
Okay.
everyone, or not everyone, but the majority of the people are in the same hotel that the show is in, so they don't have to drive. They're not going anywhere. And this year, Owner's Pride put on a welcome night party. So they had a keg basically, and where you got your badges is where they had the party. So you're in line
Oh,
getting your badge, you're having
okay.
a beer, you're talking with
Sign
people.
me up.
Yeah. And then the Detailers Roadmap has, for the last couple of years, put on some really good parties, I think on the Thursday night or Friday night. So that's good. And then you have the IDA Awards, you have their awards ceremony. So it's a fun atmosphere. There's something to do. And again, it's bringing the industry together.
So would there be, I mean, were there any of the same vendors that you would see at SEMA that you
Oh
also
yeah.
see at MTE, or is it completely different?
No, mostly all the same.
Mostly all the same, but just in
Yeah.
a tighter knit spot.
Yeah, a tighter knit spot. There's not the phallus measuring contest of I've got the bigger booth than you do. There's none of that. Oh, I just saw his name pop up there. Humberto is there. I mean, just that alone makes it worth
You
going
know,
to Mobile Tech
you
Expo.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm still wondering, Humberto, is he really, a real human being? That's so
He is
funny.
a he's
I'm
not only a real human being, he's a great human being.
Yeah, no, he is.
Just super nice guy,
Yeah,
friendly with everyone.
yeah,
Most people look at him, they don't know who they're talking to.
yeah,
And then it's like, "Whoa, you're Humberto." Everyone knows
yeah.
Humberto in the
Everybody knows
industry.
Humberto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just I had the pleasure last year of taking him out for supper, and just
Oh,
a great human being. But and he's there, uh, the Thursday when they're setting up the booths. I tried to walk into the show floor just to say hi to people, and normally they let me in because I have a speaker's badge. This year, new security crew, I guess, they didn't let me in. And
what?
then but I was texting with Kiev, and Kiev got in. And it's like, how'd you get in? Oh, well, Biobomb stunk me in. That was good. But he said, you couldn't get in. I said, no. He said, Humberto's here. How'd he get in? It's Humberto. Yeah, he was there first. So yeah.
Yeah, Humberto for the win. That's pretty amazing. So it is more than you're saying, it's more education than vendors. Vendors are there, but the whole point of it is more education, where I'm guessing SEMA then is more of the vendors.
Yeah,
In
SEMA
that,
is all about
right?
sell, sell, sell.
Okay.
Now, at Mobile Tech Expo, a vendor can come and sell their products. So just like I said, the PDR guys are there to sell.
Yeah.
Mobile Tech is the same. If we have anyone watching from the UK, it's closer to Waxstock than, NT is closer to Waxstock than SEMA is.
Okay. Huh. Now, what is, and we can talk about cost because cost is a big deal. Well, for me anyway, coming from California, when I think about flying to Florida, but what is the price of a ticket or how, I know that getting into SEMA is, I don't know, I guess I would say kind of difficult. Like you have to provide a lot of, information and things. Is it the same for MTE? Is it kind of hard to get into or is it easy to buy a ticket and just go?
It's easy to buy a ticket and go. And Jay Hawkers, there was bus cheese at MTE in the Bio Bombs booth on Saturday morning. So we did sneak in some bus cheese.
Slipped on some bus cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just saw that pop up. But anyways, yeah, Mobile Tech Expo, it's not expensive to go. Humberto can tell. I've never paid, I've always spoken. So but
Mm,
Humberto can tell us the price. He should know, but or anyone else that's been there. But it's not expensive. The hotel that they're in actually isn't that bad. And a lot of people get an Airbnb close by. In Orlando, it's the land of Airbnb. There's a lot of them and they're not expensive. So
okay.
if you wanted, like for you, you could take your kids, spend a week, go to Disney, and that's something a lot of people do.
Yeah.
They
The
make it a
only
Disney vacation.
That would be amazing. The hard part for me, and I mentioned this before with MTE, is it's in the month of January, which is
Yeah,
right after Christmas. So, I'm usually spending like January and February, getting myself back from the Christmas haul. So I
yeah,
just wish it was in a different part of the month. But I mean, I would love to go eventually just for the, experience. It's just once
yeah.
again, um, do you do you find or would you say that people would be just as overwhelmed going to MTE as you do going to SEMA? Is it still kind of everything in your face, lots of I know you're saying it's more interpersonal, but I mean, would you still be overwhelmed by it for your first time?
No, no, MT is not that type of show.
It's not like
So,
it at all.
SEMA, I don't know if you tried to walk around SEMA at all,
I
but
did, and I
it's
got lost. Even
yeah,
just 100 feet down from where we were.
yeah, and literally you would not have time to walk the whole show if you take in everything that's outside, everything that's inside, the four halls,
Yeah.
the hotel, all that stuff. So whereas Mobile Tech Expo, the show's floor is Friday and Saturday. Friday, you walk the whole show. You've talked to everyone you want to talk to. Saturday, you're just going to go.
Yeah.
You've had time to see everything in one day, so it
Yeah.
can be done in one day.
You can do MTE in like 2 hours. That's amazing. That's the bad part about SEMA is I was in the West Hall and I went to one more hall, which was, I don't know, the South Hall, I guess, and then realized, there's still two more halls that I had
Yeah.
no idea what was in
Well,
there.
and
So
the South Hall has two levels.
yes, yes, we went up an escalator to get to I
Yeah,
think that's where,
because there's tires, there's wheels, and then
yes,
there's tools, and yeah.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, yes, quite overwhelming, if you
yeah.
could say. So, okay, let's talk a little bit. I know you started talking about, the classes and education. You've been teaching there over 20 years, right? Was I correct
Yes.
in
Yeah.
saying that? So, obviously, I'm guessing, you're not just talking all detailing, as you said, you talk business as well. What leads you to decide what you're going to teach at
Uh,
MTE? Are you just following the industry trends or what helps you decide what you're teaching?
I've never been one to follow trends, but that being said,
I
I
guess I should
submit,
have known that.
yeah, but I submit to MTE the subjects that I think would be good, and then they take it from there. They'll call through. One year I spoke, there's 8 sessions. I spoke for 8 sessions. Um, there's other years where I just do one. So it really depends on what they feel or what they decide needs to be talked about, and we take it from there. The other thing is with MTE for the last 15 years or so, I've been their emergency speaker. So if
Ah,
someone's flight doesn't make it,
mm,
whatever, they don't show up, they just point me at the room and say talk. and
Yeah.
I look at the subject on the way in and wing it from there. Uh, but and it's always worked out. So I'm lucky that way.
Yeah.
But for myself, like I say, I propose sessions to them, and they pick and choose from them. Same thing with Mike and others. Uh, Anyone can speak at Mobile Tech Expo, and that's the fun thing. You don't have
Oh,
to be associated with a company. You don't have to be associated with anything like that. So when they do their call for speakers, uh, like you could do a session on combining detailing with being a mother of four, or how do you balance
okay.
family life with detailing. So those are things
Oh,
that I think people would have an interest in.
okay.
Like I see Key popping up here.
Yeah.
Key would be a good one on
Drop a
how to
phone.
drop sprayers from six
I
feet
would
tall.
go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. What's the art of dropping a sprayer? How
Yeah.
should you do it? How many times do you need to do it? If it doesn't break, how do you get it to break? But no, I'm just joking with
Yeah.
Keeve
Yeah.
here. But that being said, you know, Keeve would actually be great at doing a
Yeah.
session on, the what to look for in a sprayer, what to look for in a foamer, or how to set up a pressure washer properly, or all all his knowledge that he has, and a lot of people here as well.
Yeah.
So anyone can be a speaker at Mobile Tech Expo. You don't have to be affiliated with the IDA. You don't
Hmm.
have to be affiliated with MT. You don't have to be affiliated with We Are Detailing. It's just you can go there. You propose a session to them. If they go, oh, that sounds interesting, then off
Okay.
you go. Yeah.
So then that changes my vision, because so things are never, these classes are not hands-on then, that it's literally just people sitting in a chair listening to someone speak. Is there ever like a PowerPoint presentation or anything visual, or is it literally just dialogue?
I'm probably the only one that doesn't do a PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, because when I walk into the room, they have someone there to put your microphone on and set up the projector. Like
Mm.
they're very well organized. And when I come in and say, "Oh, I don't use the projector," they look at me like I'm an alien. So, uh,
Like you're from like you're
yeah, it's
caveman,
like
huh?
yeah, it's like, huh? No PowerPoint? How are
Yeah.
you going to do this? So I just stand up and talk. But that's just who I am. That
Yeah.
being said, like Mike Phillips, we were talking to him before his session, and he was reviewing his PowerPoint to make sure everything was in order and all the photos were the right size and all that. Like
Yeah.
Mike will spend 5 days preparing the PowerPoint for MTE. Whereas I'm a professional yapper. Yeah, pretty much. But for myself, it's like, tell me the subject, I'll go in and talk about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
the joy of being around for a long enough time.
So, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here. So forgive me, but I'm just thinking, if this is just, conversation, if it's, well, let me start here. Does anything from MTE get put out like on YouTube or as a video, like any of the classes, or is it just you attend? You know what I
I
mean? Does
put
anything ever
Yeah,
get posted in terms of like the classes that you teach?
it's up to each individual speaker to do so. So
Oh,
myself,
okay.
I put them on the Detailers Business Academy channel.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can go back like for the last 5 or 6 years, they're
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Um, and but others they don't, and I've never understood why. MT actually encourages it, first of all,
Yeah, I was
uh,
thinking.
because if you learn a couple things through a session you've seen online, it will entice you to go next year. And for myself, my sessions, they're technically 45 minutes long. Um, but what I do is I, prepare 15-20 minutes worth of material, and the rest is Q&A, because I
Okay.
want people to interact.
Yeah.
It's great to sit up there and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. First of all, it gets boring for
Yeah.
everyone, including myself. But with that, I want people to interact. I want them to ask questions, and I
Yeah.
want them to be part of it, because it's great spewing this information. But if they know that, oh, I'm just here to listen, it gets boring for them. Where for me, a question is never an interruption. So I tell people, one of the first sentences out of my mouth is, interrupt me at any time or stop me at any time for a question. It's not an interruption.
Yeah. And do you notice the people in the classes are, because I'm sure you see people that have been there before. Like, do you recognize
Yes.
faces, right?
Yeah.
So would you say that most people who are attending these classes are just your regular MTE attendees? Are they like beginners in the whole entrepreneurship area, or is it just kind of a mix of anyone and everyone who wants to sit in?
It it's a beautiful mix.
Okay.
You have people that have been in, in my sessions. I can't speak for anyone else, but I have people that have been in business for 40 years sitting in front of me, and I have people that have been in business for 4 days, and I have some
Mhm.
hobbyists, and they're all there with the same enthusiasm. They're all there they know they have something to learn,
Yeah.
and I, for one, have something to learn. I just happen to be the one standing up in front. I have as much to learn as anybody else in the room. So it is a great way of sharing information, of giving and taking, and everyone in this industry has something to give, and
Hmm.
everyone in this industry has something to learn. The day that you say you don't have anything more to learn in this industry,
Yeah.
hopefully you're 6 feet under, because that would be awfully boring for you for the rest of life to know everything. So for
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a perpetual student. You teach as a profession. You know as well as anybody else, you're a perpetual student.
Okay.
You're learning
Yeah.
from your students on a
Yeah.
regular basis.
Absolutely.
Uh, yeah, like they taught you how to translate for Eddie, so things like that. But
I haven't got jokes tonight.
no, but seriously,
No.
Eddie has his own little colorful way of speaking, and most teenagers speak that way too. So it's great. But no, the sessions are there as an interactive thing, and I put mine up on YouTube. I'd love it for everyone to put it up on YouTube, and I've suggested to MTE numerous times that they should have their own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They've got 160 sessions there. If they recorded every single one of them, they could put up, 3 sessions a week for the whole year,
Yeah. Yeah.
and have a really nice YouTube channel.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So it sounds to me like MTE might be the place to go for someone who's trying to grow a business. Would you agree with
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Uh, 20 years ago, no, it was you're going there to learn about new products and connect with people. But the business aspect of it, there wasn't too many of us talking about business. So you had a lot
Mhm.
more hands-on and technique-based things
Yeah.
going on then. Today, there's a lot of business, and there's a lot of how to grow your business, how to, do SEO, how to hire employees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the industry has changed a lot, especially in the last 15 years. And it's a shift that I've, witnessed and enjoyed, because I've come at detailing from an entrepreneurial background.
Yeah.
And the industry has changed. And one of the things that has changed the industry the most is ceramic coatings. Because
Mm.
before ceramic coatings, most detailers were making a living. They weren't necessarily profitable. Scaling the detailing business was difficult, etc. But now detailers are starting to have more money because of ceramic coatings. And now they're adding PPF, they're adding tint, they're adding all sorts of different things. But the advent of ceramic coatings has helped them become more entrepreneurial, because they have disposable income now. It's like, okay, I
Yeah.
made profits. What do I do with this money?
Mm.
Do I reinvest it in my business? Do I buy a boat? Whatever. So
That makes
and
sense.
and 10 years ago, it was, I buy a boat, I have, custom sneakers, I had, all sorts of things. But now you see more and more are, it's like, oh, I reinvested this in my business, I'm opening my third location. Like I see people every year at SEMA, or at, well, at SEMA as
Mhm.
well, but at Mobile
Yeah.
Tech Expo, that come up to me and say, oh, well, this year I was able to hire 3 more employees, or
Mm.
oh, my profit margins are the highest they've ever been, and they're excited to talk about that, which is fun.
Yeah.
Profits used to be a dirty word in this industry,
Mm.
and now it's something to be celebrated.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So is there an example of like someone's career that you have seen change or take off from MTE? Anybody in this industry, any brand in this industry in particular that you could say literally was able to grow their brand after attending MTE, or am I reaching here?
I'd say there's a lot, actually. So
Yeah,
I can't think of anyone in
pinpoint.
particular, but it's as much the networking as the education sessions. I always strive to be the least intelligent person in a room because I want to learn. And there's a lot of people that walk into Mobile Tech Expo with that attitude. I'm
Hmm.
here to learn.
Learn.
What
Yeah.
can I learn? What can I take away from Mobile Tech Expo? And what they take away may not come from one of those sessions. It might be from the opening night party, just a chance meeting with someone. They're standing in line together and they strike up a friendship or a conversation. And all of a sudden, that person is like, wow, mind blown. I just learned something amazing here. I don't have to go to the education sessions anymore. Or it could be the closing night ceremonies, the same thing. Anywhere in between, it's not always the education sessions, it's not always the show floor. It's you're speaking with another human being that has something
Yeah.
to offer.
Hmm. I love that. So let's move into that because you just said the show floor. So I'm still trying to get. I mean, I'm kind of baffled when you said the an eighth of what West Hall is in SEMA because I was literally thinking MTE is just another huge show. So what is the show floor like? I mean, you're saying that it's connected, it's interpersonal. You just have booths just lined up. I mean, I
Yeah.
honestly, I'm kind of thinking of like a I don't know, farmer's market, or I'm thinking like not a swap meet, but I'm thinking just vendors close to each other and
Yeah.
side by side, and
Yeah.
that's what it
So
is.
yeah, just smaller booths. So at SEMA, you've got the mega booths, but there are some parts of the show floor where you have just a row of 10 by 10 booths. Think
Okay.
of that like that would have been in the West Hall. So in
Okay.
the West Hall, you have all the new exhibitors that are there, so they
Yeah.
can't afford a 40 by 40-foot booth. So
Mm.
they're in a small 10 by 10 booth and they're just lined up in rows. And that's what it is. Now you've got some 10 by 20s, you've got some end caps, you've got different things like that. But it's maybe, 30 booths long and 12 rows wide.
Yeah. Okay. And everyone is selling something. Everybody, are people launching products there?
Some people launch
Yeah.
items at MTE. It's not as prevalent as SEMA. But yeah, there are some product launches there. Again, SEMA, people go there to connect. They don't necessarily go there to sell, and it's a completely different dynamic. Like the reason I go to SEMA as a business owner, as DIY detail, is because I want to attract distributors. I want to attract international distributors. There's not many distributors that go to MTE, but you have detailers that go to MT. Whereas, like you said, the qualifications to get into SEMA sometimes,
Yeah.
like
It
you
seems like
need
a
you need
laundry
your yeah, you need your birth certificate. Are you vaccinated?
list. Yeah. Your
You
blood
know,
sample.
yeah, blood sample. You name it. It's just over the top. Whereas MT, it's like, pay your money. We're happy to see you.
Yeah,
So
yeah. To be honest with you, I do watch Cars with Keith, but I have not watched any content in the late, especially about MTV. And I know a lot of people have dropped content. I just haven't. You should see the save to watch in my YouTube, on my channel right now. I have a
yeah.
lot of catching up to do. So I have literally not watched anything about MTV,
So
especially this
if you get
year.
YouTube Premium, you can watch at 3 times speed.
Jeff from Improved Garage does this. I've been hearing about this
That's
for
what I do.
quite a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
I have tried to speed things up. It's just sometimes I don't know. It's like too much that
Okay.
auditory process.
Well,
My
you work your way up to it. So you
yeah,
start at one and
start
a half
slow.
speed, and
Yeah,
then next time you go to two, and you can adjust in between. So you can go to 1.75 if you want, and then
yeah.
get it to two, and then once you're comfortable at two, then you go to
Then
three,
keep
and yeah.
going.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So last year, they're saying that you launched Iconic at MTE.
Oh, cool. Okay, I didn't remember
Oh,
that.
you didn't remember that. Okay, so DIY detail, you didn't have a booth this year, right? Why
No,
is that?
timing,
Oh,
and it just we weren't sure we are going to make it, and we had nothing new to announce. First of all.
oh,
Um,
okay.
Yeah. We have a lot of new things coming soon. The end of this month, and going till probably SEMA, we'll have something like every month. at a minimum to announce this year. So new products, new categories, things that have never been done before. So we have a lot of R&D things that are approaching the end of their cycle that we can say,
Okay.
okay, we're ready to launch. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I think you received one of them last week, so you should, yeah,
Pretty exciting.
yeah.
So you then plan to be at MTE next year, I'm guessing?
We plan to be there. I think House of Rags also plans to be there. So
Yeah, I think Jamie
uh,
just said that in the comments.
yeah,
They plan
I saw that
to
go
take
by. They're
over.
invading.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
invading MTE. So
yeah.
we'll have to do something about bus cheese as well at MTE. I'll have to find this year we only serve 5 pounds of it.
Oh my
So
goodness.
we'll
Yeah.
we'll see what we can do next year if we can
Oh
bring it up to
man.
10 or 15 pounds. But yeah.
I'm gonna have to sell like feet pics or something to get there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to
Okay.
start saving now.
No, you
I'm
don't have to you
I'm
don't
teasing.
have to stoop to that. You probably have $5,000 worth of detailing supplies that you'll never use in your
Well, not
garage.
anymore, Ivan. Not
Okay.
anymore. Not anymore. I literally, you should see how much I purged when Jeff and Greg were here. It
Yep.
was it was pretty incredible. And you know what the sad part is, Ivan, is as I was like getting everything out of the shelves, there were so many things that I forgot I even had that I had
Yep.
bought again. So
Yeah.
I had double, right?
Okay.
And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
okay, that's when you know that you have a severe issue. Like, and I
So
am not proud to say that. I just,
a
it was,
couple of years ago on Nick's channel, so Hawk Pro Detail, Sylvie and I went to Utah and we walked into Nick's shop, sort of unannounced. We were just driving through Utah, so it's like we'll stop in and see Nick. And his shop was just a shambles, like
oh,
it was Nick. But anyways, we said, look, he was working evenings at his job doing the news. So it's like, go away, but before you
yeah,
go, I want you to make 3 piles. This is the stuff you really don't care about. This is the stuff you're not sure about, and this is all the stuff you want to absolutely keep.
yeah,
Uh, the first 2 piles we got rid of completely, and the second one we cut it down to like a third of what he said he wanted to keep. And
I know.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
As
and
they were
reorg.
putting things away, though, I was like, I don't know if I want to get rid of that. So I bet Nick was the same way.
He wasn't there. We didn't
Oh,
give him a choice.
okay. He
Yeah,
wasn't there. I missed that part.
yeah. So
Sorry. Oh,
ideally, if Jeff and Craig come back to Greg, sorry,
right.
come
Yeah.
back to your place, they should, give you a ticket. Go to the restaurant with your kids.
Oh, that would give
Come
me
back.
so much anxiety. I'd be like, oh my God, what? That's all I would be able to think about is what are they getting rid of? Oh my God, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
but helpful, I'm sure, nonetheless. I have
Yes.
still have a whole side of, plastic drawers that have just so many things, towels, especially like old microfibers. That's another thing I need to get rid of. What do you do with old microfibers? You just throw them away?
No, you bring them to Goodwill.
Oh, okay. Even if
They're
they're
still
all nasty and
well. It depends on how nasty they are.
nasty, yeah.
If you have a mechanic in your life, bring them to your mechanic.
Hmm.
They're great
Oh,
for sopping
that's
up
a good
oil,
idea.
things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, because that's my next big, haul out of here are old towels.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is some I could use inside the house, but I have some pretty trashed towels, you guys. Before I learned to soak your towels in rinseless, you know what I mean? Before that whole trick, I definitely have some I need to just toss. So again, on the floor, then what do you see? Because obviously people are launching some things.
Yeah.
So is there anything new and exciting that you saw, like any tools or chemicals that you thought was coming out that you felt was innovative, or any companies that surprised you with what they were coming out with, or were you disappointed in what you saw? What's going
No.
on with what's coming
Yeah.
out?
Barjack had an obsessively large booth for being their first showing at SEMA at
Okay.
MTE, and
Okay.
they had a nice little 3-inch battery powered polisher they're
Okay.
coming out with.
I
So
think
that was
Sydney like did a little reveal about with
yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah, that was nice to see. Card Candy, speaking of Sydney, they came out with a new line of sealants. that they released at MTE. Megan Poirier, who is very much, part of Car Candy,
Yeah.
she received a Lifetime Achievement Award and is now the president of the IDA. So, there's a lot of things going on. Uh, basically, Sylvie and I walk from booth to booth and ask
Mm.
people what's new.
Yeah.
What can you do here? Like Dry Ice Energy, they had a new smaller machine that was there. Liquid Elements was there. So
Okay.
there's a lot of smaller companies that you don't see at SEMA that are there
Yeah.
because of the cost difference between a 10 by 10 at SEMA or a 40 by 40 at Mobile Tech Expo is about the same price. So
Yeah.
it's a huge price gap.
Different. Yeah.
Um, but the every company has something to say. Every company, they're they're fun to deal with, etc. Like myself, like I say, I walked from booth to booth and I talked to people in every booth.
Yeah.
And this online stuff of, oh, this company doesn't like this company, etc., that disappears at Mobile Tech Expo, and in reality, it doesn't exist. There
Mm.
might be the odd company out there that has let's say a less than stellar opinion of other companies, and they make it known. But other than that, for the majority, we're all friends and we're all doing the same thing. There's more than enough customers to go around. There's more than
Yeah.
enough detailers, and for the detailers out there, there's more than enough customers for you as well.
Yeah.
So you don't need to fight with your local competitors and stuff. They're there to help you. And if you grow that, interaction between local people, you end up with a much stronger industry in your area. And if there's someone new comes in that's undercutting everybody's prices, if you all go and speak to them in a kind way, not a baseball bat, but go to speak them in a kind way and say, look, the industry here, you don't need to charge yourself out at $20 an hour. You can do like everyone else, charging 150, and we're
Yeah.
all happy, and the customers still come.
Yeah.
So, if you're doing it at such a low rate, you're the one that's going to suffer. You're the one that's going to go out of business.
Yeah.
So,
That
and
makes
that's something about MTE that the business related classes are very good at saying you need to charge more.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to charge. One example I always use is people, oh, well, in my area, that's the worst thing you can say to me because in
Mm.
your area, an F 150 where you are, an F 150 where I'm parked right now, and an F 150 in New York State, they're all the same price.
The same. Yeah.
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 So there's no, oh, in my area, no, people are still buying $100,000 cars or $80,000 cars or pickup trucks everywhere in the country. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just detailers. One of the things that I've been trying to educate detailers for decades now is that don't set your pricing for your budget, set it for the customer's budget.
Mm.
And just because you can't afford your services doesn't mean customers
They
can't.
can. That's a good
Yeah.
point. I've never heard it be put that way, and I like that. Just because you can't afford that service doesn't mean other people can't. I'm gonna
Right.
remember that.
You know,
And honestly, that has been in my head many times, and I'm gonna be very
yeah.
honest with you in terms of pricing. Is I do think to myself, like, God, I couldn't pay that right now. And I think about that for other people. So
Yeah.
that's a very good point that you just made. I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah. You mentioned Jeff from Improved Garage.
Yeah.
Jeff has a little more disposable income than you do,
Yes. A little,
right?
but a lot.
Yeah.
Jeff's
Let's just
money's
say,
different.
yeah, let's just say he's financially a little more comfortable than you are.
A
He
little bit.
doesn't have 4 kids as a single mom.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't see Jeff as a single mom, anyways. But with that, for Jeff, it's easier for him to say, yeah, it's worth it for me to spend X amount of money on this service. Whereas you, it would be like, I have to save up for this service.
Yeah.
But the people that live around you that are buying the $80,000 pickup truck, that are buying the $60,000 SUV, they obviously have the money to
They
buy
can
those
afford it.
things. So they have the money to maintain those things.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense. When
Yeah.
you put it into perspective and really think about it, all of those things make sense. I have a tendency to like put myself in other people's shoes. I need to stop doing that. So
Yeah. Like when people say, "Oh, in my area," then I ask them, "Okay, do you have a steakhouse in your area?" "Oh yeah, great steakhouse." "Okay.
yeah,
Do people go there?" "Yes." "Okay, but you have a McDonald's too, right?" "Yeah, we have a McDonald's." "Okay, well, you know,
yeah,
people people will get a reservation to go to the steakhouse and pay $80 or $100 for a steak, but at McDonald's they stand in line.
yeah. There you
They
go.
don't need a reservation, right? They can
Yeah,
drive up and
yeah,
drive away.
yeah,
So it comes down to there is a budget. Everyone has their budget,
yeah,
and that is, yeah. I charge
yeah.
what I'm worth.
Yeah,
Exactly.
perfect.
Don't
Yeah,
charge what you can afford. Charge what
yeah,
you're worth.
yeah,
Build value into what you can do, and once you've built that value in, then you're great.
yeah. So talking about like trends, and I know you're not a trendy guy or not a trendsetter, you don't follow trends, but I know or I feel like SEMA is about innovation and what's coming next. Is MTE, does it kind of then adopt that same kind of idealistic, this is where the industry's headed, these are the new innovations, or is that different than SEMA in that aspect?
A little different. SEMA is, it's let's show off. That's what SEMA is. Because you're trying to attract the eye of the
Yeah.
distributor. It's like, oh, this company's big enough for me to carry, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas Mobile Tech Expo, it's more about connections. It's more about establishing your brand and establishing yourself as, okay, this is a legitimate brand. They're here. This is what they're offering. It's not about the new and the wow. It's about the how can we help you grow your business.
Hmm. Okay. So let's talk. So I guess the industry direction doesn't really fit with MTE, but let's talk about it anyways. Again, you have been in this industry for what is it, 50 years?
48, close
Or
enough.
close.
Yeah.
I rounded up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
And you had just mentioned earlier that ceramic coatings have been the things that have probably changed the most or have over the years. Did I catch that right? Or have had the
Yeah.
most
It
innovation?
was as far as I'm concerned, it was the biggest, the biggest leap forward in our industry was going from, $100 wash and wax jobs to, $1,000 coating job.
Yeah.
In about the same amount of time. So that really changed. And, now coatings are becoming even more important because paint is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. So customers understand more and more the need for protection.
Yeah.
And, but the other industry direction and trend that I've seen for the last 20 years, and it's continuing and it's growing, it's a snowball effect, is detailers becoming entrepreneurs. Uh,
Mhm.
so, 10 years ago, at MTE, there might have been two or three of us doing over $1 million a year in sales.
Okay.
This year, there's probably
Yeah.
100 of us.
Mhm.
So, that in alone, when you talk to detail shops that are doing not seven figures, but eight figures now, and 10 years ago, there wasn't many of us doing that either. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. So, what skills in the next, let's say in the next 5 or 10 years, well, let's just say five, what skills are going to matter most in this industry? Is it still, are you still saying it's the business side, business from here on out, learning how to run a business, the ins and outs, or is it a skill of knowing how to polish, knowing how to apply a ceramic coating? What's the bigger bang for your buck?
the bigger bang for your buck is definitely, business, like learning how to run a business, but also learning how to run your business for your customers and not your ego.
Mm,
And you mentioned paint correction. That is something that, with the paints getting thinner and thinner and thinner, those that are doing the 20-hour polishing jobs and mowing down the paint and doing all this stuff, they're going to be the ones that are going to make body shops rich because they're burning through the paint.
mm,
Whereas learning how to manage how to manage your expectations as a detailer, and then translate that to the customer, saying, "Look, your paint is really thin. We can improve it, we can protect it, but we can't make it perfect." And no one has ever made perfect paint, anyways.
yeah.
Uh, so basically, it comes down to being more of an entrepreneur, working for the customer as opposed to for your ego. And that is something I've seen over the years. The ones that have adopted the I'm going to give the customer what the customer is paying for. I'm not going to give the customer what I think they should be getting and what the internet makes me think I should be giving them and what my ego thinks I should be giving them because I want to post on, on Facebook or
Facebook, yeah,
Instagram
social
showing that I'm
media.
the best polisher in the world.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, you know, the ones that are actually out there doing the 7, 8 figure businesses, they're not the ones posting online.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. They're
Yeah.
too busy running a business.
Actually, no, a lot of them are, yes, they're busy running a business, but they're also busy living their lives.
Oh,
They've learned
good
that
point.
the grind uh is not a way to run a business.
Mm,
For myself, it's
yeah,
always been that way. To me, you know, running yourself into the ground for your business to grow will never end in a good way.
yeah,
You'll either end up in hospital in a casket or bankrupt, one of the three.
yeah,
Whereas if you can make your business sustainable on 35 hours a week, then you're winning.
yeah.
And that's where people are starting to see. One of the people that I've seen at MTE for years, Kurt Felmar. Uh, he's growing his shop again. He's opening a second location. He's doing all sorts of fun stuff, but he also like he goes to Disney, I don't know how many times a year with his family
Sounds
because
like
he
fun.
no, but he loves theme parks. So,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that you see him at MTE. Not too many people know who he is, but he's probably one of the top 10 successful detailers in the country.
Mm, yeah, that makes
Is
sense.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
just
things like
being
that.
able to
Yeah.
balance. Yeah. This actually, I know getting off of MTE, but talking about PPF,
Yep.
how profitable is PPF? And is that a good niche to become familiar with in terms of installation and such?
Okay. So what Joshua had put there about the peel clear.
He's
First
talking
of all,
about sprayable.
yeah, sprayable PPF has been around for decades. It's
Okay.
nothing new. The reason it never took off and it probably won't take off with other companies as well is simply because the investment necessary to do it properly is, you know, a lot higher than film based PPF. You have to have a paint booth right there. You're looking, by the time you get permits, et cetera, if you can actually build one, it's at least 100K.
Mm,
So there's not many detailers that will do that. And the body shop industry has been refusing spray on PPF for decades, and they will continue to do so because doesn't fit their business model.
mm,
Um, I was involved with designing one. I was involved with launching a brand, the whole thing. It it's a great for me. It's a great thing. I've had it on my vehicles. I love it. It's spectacular. But unless you have a body shop, it's not going to really work out for you. PPF, on the other hand, I see it almost as a necessary evil. I have PPF on one of my cars. So I've got 4 cars. I only have one with PPF. That's the one we pulled behind the bus. The other ones I
mm.
don't have PPF on because I don't see the need.
Yeah,
I can drive a car for 5 years and I'll have 3 stone chips on the front. I'm
yeah,
not a candidate for PPF. But someone that, they drive a car for a year and there's 300 stone chips on the front, they're a candidate for PPF.
yeah.
But what a lot of detailers don't understand, they walk blindly into the PPF industry going, oh, look at these ticket prices. Yeah, high ticket price, but high
High
cost as
cost.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you have high material cost, you have high cost of education. And yeah, you can say, oh, I can take a PPF class for $2,000, right? Or
yeah,
3,000 or whatever it is. Great. Go take that PPF class and then try to apply PPF on a car.
yeah,
It's not, you're going
yeah,
to be eventually through, you know, uh, learning new words and dictionaries, things like that. You're eventually going to get there. But I always tell people if you're wanting to start PPF, you have to be willing to light at least $30,000 on fire. If
Whew.
you're willing to light $30,000 on fire, if
You
you
don't-
have that money, then start getting into PPF.
Okay. All right.
But
That's
that being said, once you're there, yes, it is profitable.
profitable.
Yes, it brings customers in, but
Yeah,
don't expect it to be an overnight success for you.
yeah. Jay is saying, do you see the cost of PPF and install going down in terms of pricing or staying where it's at?
Unfortunately, it's going down, and well, it's going down and up at the same time. So you have the shops that are doing spectacular work. And to me, a spectacular PPF installation is one that you don't know there's PPF on the car.
Yeah.
But then you have the people that just paid, that just got their $3,000 class. They bought a roll of PPF, they have a plotter, and now it's like, I have to recoup this money. So they're underselling the job. The good shop might be charging $3,000 for this job, and they'll do it for 2,000. Well, guess what? They're going to go out of business.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there's a lot of those people willing to do the $1,500 or $2,000 job that should be 3,000.
Yeah.
And the customers, until they see the difference, don't know the difference. It's like, hey, well, this guy's charging 1,500 and you're charging 3,000. It's like, yes, the $1,500 job, you'll be able to tell you have PPF on the car. The $3,000 job, you won't be able to tell you have PPF on the car. Do you want to know you have PPF on your car?
No, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, well, I have one last round of just kind of quick fire questions, if you will. Yvan, this has been great. Again, I knew you were the person to talk to about MTE. So just, again, some quick fire questions. So who would you say absolutely needs to attend? Who should go to MTE?
Yeah, if you own a detailing business, you need to be at MTE.
Okay. Who doesn't need to attend?
The enthusiast.
Okay.
So the enthusiast, it's a fun thing to go to, but you don't need to be there.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're trying to make detailing your livelihood, you need to be at MTE.
Okay. So then my next question, is it worth traveling across the country for?
Oh, heck yeah. Not necessarily because of MTE, but because of all the connections you'll make.
Okay.
So on the show floor, like for yourself, you'd be surprised how many people know who you are, despite your channel. Did you surpass 10,000 yet?
Are you kidding me, Yvan?
What?
I am nowhere near 10,000. I cannot get my channel to grow. It has literally been the slowest growing channel. I'm not even at 2,000 yet.
Oh, come on, people. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell.
I'm trying to be more consistent with videos and shorts and things, but it's just a slow going time. But you know what? I'm okay with that. Like, it is what it is. I have fun doing it, so I'm not worried about the numbers.
But nonetheless, even though you have, by MTE next year, we'll say 5,000 subscribers. Even though you have 5,000 subscribers, I'm optimistic.
I love it.
So with your 5,000 subscribers, you'll walk through the show floor and you'll be amazed how many people recognize you and just want to talk with you. That's all they want to do. They just want to say hi and thank you. Oh, I saw this video. It was great. I love what you did with cleaning those wheels, because I know you like cleaning wheels. So, hopefully you have a wheel cleaning video one day that goes viral for you. That would be, perfect payback. Yeah, that would be perfect payback. But with that, MTE, everyone should go, but at the same time, should go and need to go are two different things. So the entrepreneur, the person wanting to start a business, the person that's in business, the person that's been in business for 40 years needs to go there. I did a garage audit with Classic Appreciation there in Michigan. Greg Sweat is the owner. His son is now taking over, Charlie. I've been going to MTE for 20 some years, and I think Greg was there the first time I was there and continues to go. And Greg he's a walking ambassador for our industry. He is just such a nice human being. He's friendly with everyone. He knows the industry inside and out. He's done a lot of work in the industry. He's, done a lot of things with the IDA, et cetera, et cetera. But he's there every year and he's there with a smile. And, I say everyone has something to learn. Greg is the first to tell you he has something to learn from everyone. But at the same time, a lot of people have a lot to learn from Greg. So if at MTE, that's what you'll get. You'll get the industry veterans. You'll get the people that this is their first time. They washed their first car yesterday and they're walking into MTE. And everywhere in between. So it's a lot of fun. And it's the interpersonal connections.
Yeah. which I think are, like you're saying, most important anyways. Absolutely. Those are the things that last, relationships, right? So
Yeah.
well, thank you, Ivan. I appreciate, again, you so much taking the time to sit down and talk with us tonight. I was really trying to pay attention to the chat, but I apologize if I missed a ton because I was just really enamored in the conversation. So after like halfway through, I was thinking to myself, goodness gracious, I haven't paid really any attention to the chat. So if there were questions and I missed them, guys, I'm totally sorry. But I think Ivan, you do a good job at keeping up with the chat. So,
Yeah, and put them in the comments
yeah,
below.
yeah. We do have a
Oh,
question though.
yeah.
Tinting.
Uh,
Is it worth
yeah.
adding?
No, Ace Fire, yeah. What about tinting, Ivan? Is it worth adding
Yeah.
that? Yeah, it's a great service. And by the way, hopefully, soon in Josh's shop, I'll be doing a training. So he's in Red Deer, Alberta, or close to Red Deer, I believe. We'll be doing a training in early April. So reach out to Josh if you want to, and he'll be happy to sign you up for a training class there. Not on tint, but on detailing.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yes.
yeah, tint is a better step into the film industry and profitability, and it's a quick, easy service compared to PPF.
Yeah, perfect. And, I'm interested if you watch this, leave a comment after this conversation. Are you more interested, to go to MTE? I know I definitely am. Definitely need to start thinking about a financial plan to save up, or just tell my kids, you know what, we're going to MTE for Christmas. Maybe we're jumping on a plane and going to Florida. That's your Christmas present.
So
So,
at Christmas, you buy them each a set of Mickey Mouse ears
oh, there you go.
and say, "This is part of your gift. The other part comes at the end of January."
I like that, Ivan.
Yeah.
You know, I
Uh,
I'm not sure
and,
I haven't looked at the cost of Disney World, but it can't be too much worse than Disneyland. I don't know.
yeah, I've never been myself, so I couldn't tell you. And if we missed your questions in the chat,
Yeah,
put them in the comments section of the video,
absolutely.
and I'll happily go in, and so will Christy, to answer your questions. And if you haven't subscribed to Details and Me, so Details and Me,
Mm,
uh, go to Christy's channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell. The next time she puts out a video, give her some hype points. That will help grow the channel as well.
yes, thank you. Thank you for that, Ivan. Do not forget, again, 20% off at Thor, all microfiber towels for the month of February. Use code Chris10 to save you some change. And if you'll use the link in the description to take you there, it helps me out. It helps this channel out, this podcast. And with that, thank you everyone for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Bye.